Welcome to Raising Happy and Thriving Gifted Kids, a daily podcast where you get relatable stories, interesting lessons, and practical tips to help your kids thrive and be happy while enjoying your own life even more. So, after our overview of yesterday, we're going to go through each of the 5 letters of PERMA model. So, as a quick recap, yesterday we talked about the P for positive emotions, the E for engagement, the R for positive relationships, the M for meaning, and the A for achievement. And today we're going to focus on P, positive emotions. And positive emotions are the part of motivation that make you do things usually for external reasons. And there's a reason why we call it in the first round Rockstar happiness, because it's the happiness of the rockstar. But the challenge of the happiness of the rockstar is that it always needs to be more, and it doesn't last very long. They've shown that with people winning the lottery, like within 8 months, you're back at your old happiness level. And, if at one point you're happy with 10,000 participants or people who come to your live shows, then the next time it needs to be 11,000, because if you go back to 5,000, it doesn't feel as good. So positive emotions do have a strong side, and it's good to have fun, and it's good to do cool stuff, and it's good to have happy emotions. But the challenge is, and I think they've shown that about half of this is genetically based. How good are you at being happy with positive emotions? And some people actually struggle with this. Some people have a harder time enjoying positive emotions. And one of the things that they talk about in positive psychology is kind of like the return on happiness and the return on happiness of well-being. I had this girl once, and she was really stuck. I mean, she was suicidal and auto-mutilating and really, really stuck. And she had an extremely low return on happiness. She had a really fun party. And when I talked to her immediately in the morning. And in the beginning of the hour, she was still talking about, yeah, that was actually kind of a fun party. And it's like weird. I haven't had fun parties in a while. And within 1 hour, she had proceeded in her mind to highlight all the stupid things about the party. So by the end of the hour, retroactively, she had a really crappy evening. And so that's one way to be really short, like to have short enjoyment on fun stuff. Some people can have a fun night and be happy for 2 weeks straight, right? So they have a really high return on happiness. So one very concrete assignment that positive psychology gives, because one of the fun things is that they actually have a very applied approach. So you get really clear exercises that scientifically have shown to add to your happiness. And one assignment is a 3 blessings journal. And this is actually one of the things while I'm talking about, I'm wondering why we're not doing it anymore. But we did that for a long time with our kids. Every night in bed, ask, what are 3 fun, amazing things that happened today? It's called the 3 blessings journal. Like for adults, you ask, what are 3 things that you feel you are blessed with? And by looking at those and writing them down, you actually are reflecting, and you're creating a little bit of a higher return on happiness, because you create an additional moment where you enjoy the joy of something that happened. And if you want to do it really well, then at the end of the week, out of the 21 blessings you found, you pick your top 10. And at the end of the month, out of your, 40 or 50 weekly tops, you pick your top 25 or your top 20. And then at the end of the year, out of your top 240, you pick your top 50 or top 100. And it makes you go through all the highlights of your life. So this way you increase your return on well-being. And you can help your kids do the same. Have them create a blessings journal. Ask them, when you bring them to bed or when you're driving with them in the car. It doesn't take any extra time. But ask them, what are 3 blessings? What are 3 things that made you happier today? If you liked this episode of Raising Happy and Thriving Kids, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast software. And if you want to dive deeply into all the things you can do to help your kids thrive, be happier while making your own life more enjoyable, go to smartparentingsecrets.com, where you can get free additional training. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, bring out the best in yourself and each other.